Welcome back for another reaction video, guys. So checking out 50 things that are only possible in Australia. Alright guys, yes, and this video is coming from Brightside. Alright guys, so if you're new to the channel, guys, welcome. Or before you leave, that you become a part of the family. Alright guys, yes, don't forget to share as well and to like. So let's go.
Okay, it's pop quiz time. Which country has the longest fence in the world? How about the second largest Greek population? 3 times more sheep than people? Okay, one word will give it away. Kangaroos! Yeah, I'm talking about the land down under. So, what do you know about Australia? So, let's start with the name. Australia comes from the Latin word australis, which means southern. Way back in the 2nd century, there were legends of a mysterious Terra Australis Incognita, or unknown southern land. Well, now it's very known, so let's get to know more about it. Despite the stereotypes of hot sunny weather year-round, the Australian Alps, which are the highest mountain range in the country, get more snow than the Swiss Alps do. Better grab your skis. The world's longest national highway is in Australia. It stretches for over 9,000 miles. For comparison, the Earth's diameter is about 7,900 miles. It's actually a network of highways that connects all capitals of the mainland states. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the Great Wall of China, but what about the Great Fence of Australia? Okay, that's not what it's called, but still, the Dingo Fence in Southeast Australia stretches for nearly 3,500 miles. For comparison, it would easily cover the entire span of the U.S., from Los Angeles to Houghton, Maine. Now, it might not be so surprising to know that Australia is huge. It's about the same size as the continental U.S., about 2,500 miles wide. The distance from the west to east coast is further than Barcelona to Moscow. In all, Australia is the world's 6th largest country and the only one that's also a whole continent. But with all that territory, over 80% of Australians live within 60 miles of the coast. This makes the country one of the most coastal-dwelling populations in the world. And that means a whole lot of beaches. In fact, they have so many that if you decided to visit a new beach every day, it would take you almost 30 years to see them all.
What?
The biggest property in Australia is about 40,000 square miles in area. South Korea could fit into it with room to spare. The country's termites are busy building huge properties as well. Their mounds are the tallest animal-made structures on this planet. Before humans arrived, the continent was home to megafauna. If you lived there about 46,000 years ago, you'd be dead today. But you would have seen 10-foot-tall kangaroos, 23-foot-long goanna lizards, and ducks the size of an adult horse. Quack, quack. The largest living structure on the planet is the Australian Great Barrier Reef. By the way, it has its own mailbox, and there's a rumor that the fish there use eel mail. Yeah. Neither kangaroos
What did you say? The fish there use eel mail, as in the eel, the eel, E-E-L, the eel, this long snaky thing. I think that's what he's talking. I'm not sure.
nor emus can walk backward. That's a fact. And that's why they're painted on the Australian coat of arms. Keep moving forward. The platypus, an egg-laying mammal that lives only in Australia, is one of the rare venomous mammals on this planet. Luckily, while the venom has an excruciatingly painful effect on people, it's not lethal. The takeaway? Don't fuss with a platypus. By the way, when the first platypus was brought to England, people there were sure that it was a joke. The English believed that Australians had sewn a duck's bill onto a rat's body to play a trick on them. Yeah, right up until he bit them. Not laughing now, are ya? Swimming in the surf during the day had been illegal in Australia up until 1902. But after one guy calmly entered the waves of Manly Beach one afternoon that year, surf bathing became increasingly popular. The largest Greek population outside of Greece itself is in Australia. Actually, to be more precise, in Melbourne. More than 160,000 people who live there say they come from Greek descent. Melbourne was the richest city in the world in 1880. These days, Tokyo, Japan holds this title. And until 2018, Melbourne had been rated as the most livable city in the world for 7 years in a row. But then, it was bumped down to second place after Vienna, Austria. Come on, Melbourne, get back in the game. One of Melbourne's founders was John Batman. Yep, that was his real name. And get this, the city was temporarily called Batmania. Too bad they decided to change it to Robinville? Nah. In 2018, Australia ranked third after Norway and Switzerland on the Human Development Index. This index is based on education, life expectancy, and citizens' income. Basically, they got a good thing going down under there. In 2000,
I'm gonna lie, history is beautiful. It's beautiful to learn about different culture, things you never know or were taught. But being in a different country, it's always good to learn more about different nation, country, and stuff like that. I totally enjoy these videos, not gonna lie.
2005, security guards at the Parliament House in Canberra were prohibited from calling people mate. But the ban only lasted for a day, mate. G'day. If you're ever in Western Australia, you can visit one of their many super salty pink lakes.
Wow.
They get the bubblegum hue from a certain type of algae and bacteria, and they're totally safe to swim in. Just be careful what you chew. Oh, and be sure to take a selfie while you're swimming in what looks like a giant pool of Pepto-Bismol. You can thank Australia for coming up with the word selfie in the first place. There are about 74 million sheep to 25 million people in Australia, which makes an impressive ratio of 3 to 1. Only China and India have more than that. Oh, and the kangaroo thing is totally true. There are twice as many kangaroos as there are people there. That's 50 to 25 million. Speaking of which, when a baby kangaroo is born, it's only half an inch long. It's also hairless and totally pink. Kinda looks like a gummy bear. What else is there in Australia? Oh, that's right, koalas. And to top that, there are 10 times more camels than koalas. Australia is the source of a lot of the Middle East's camels. Now, in Western Australia, it's against the law to be in possession of more than 110 pounds of potatoes. Well, every country has its obscure, bizarre laws. The architect of the world-famous Sydney Opera House got the idea of this unique construction while munching on an orange. If you combine all the sails of the building's roof, you'll get a perfect sphere. The most ancient fossils in the world were found in Australia. They were no less than 3.4 billion years old, even older than my leftovers in the fridge. There are so many different species in this country that only 25% of them have been discovered so far. Of the animals discovered,
25% of the species in Australia has been discovered. Wow, and it's so many. A lot of different ones that I called out, and the generation of them, I should say generation of them, and their enlarged family, and it's only 25% discovered. So how many other percentage are there that is not discovered? Australia, wow.
In this country, that only 25% of them have been discovered so far.
Really?
Of the animals discovered to be native to Australia, none have hooves. Burger King miraculously turns into Hungry Jack's as soon as you land in Australia. It's the Aussie franchise of the famous fast food chain. Australia is a unique continent that doesn't house any active volcanoes. It's also the flattest continent on our planet. But it's got plenty of mountains, and one of them is called Mount Disappointment. It's just 2,600 feet tall, and naturally, explorers William Hovell and Hamilton Hume expected to see a great view from the top. However, after climbing the mountain, they discovered that there were too many trees growing on top and blocking the view completely. Guess how the men felt? Australia has tons of unique flora and fauna species that you won't find anywhere else in the world. Among those are a staggering 1,500 spider species. Spider species, yeah. On the bright side, and we are,
Part, yeah.
while some
We
of
have
them
them a
are
lot
fatally
here, so
poisonous,
I don't
most
know
are
them.
completely harmless. But how do I tell them apart? Oh, the poisonous ones wear
Oh
signs. Got it.
no.
It's also where you'll find 21 of the world's top 25 most
That's
venomous
good.
snakes. More than 90% of Australia is covered with some kind of vegetation. Since 1988, Australia has had a national floral emblem, and it's the golden wattle. When this plant blooms, it gets covered with the country's national colors, green and gold. Australia is a multinational country, with more than 200 different languages and dialects spoken there. The most popular non-English languages are Mandarin, Greek, Arabic, Vietnamese, and Cantonese. There are 19 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Australia, including 12 natural sites, 3 cultural sites, and 4 mixed sites. The difference between Australia's total length and its width is only 200 miles. Hey, do you have an 8-hour working day? You can thank Australian stonemasons for that. In 1865, they demanded to make 8-hour shifts the standard, and it spread throughout the world from there. With 8 people per square mile, Australia has an extremely low population density. For comparison, there are about 93 people per square mile in the US. The national Australian airline, Qantas, uses recycled cooking oil to power its interstate flights. So, have I missed any cool facts about Australia? Let me know down in the comments.
Wow. I sure will give it a like because I'm not gonna lie, I sure did learn. I sure did learn 50 things that I didn't know before. Okay guys, this video was surely interesting. I enjoy watching it and learning about Australia. Alright guys, yes, it seems to be a country of a lot of like they have that green stuff, earthy stuff with the animals and stuff, and it seems so beautiful. Other thing, I'll be afraid of all those different species, yeah. Even when you said about the spider, we have a lot of spider here in Jamaica. I don't know the difference, but I don't think it is as much as the ones in Australia, especially the priceless ones. That kind of freaked me out. But it overall seemed to be a very big, beautiful, well-developed country. Alright guys, so it was really interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed this one. Always fun to learn, never too old to learn. Alright, especially about different countries. So I'll get you all in a different reaction guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.